Welcome to the You Unlocked podcast. I'm your host, Darby Steinkamp, and I'm a certified ICF and NLP mindset coach for ambitious, entrepreneurial mamas, female coaches, and online service providers just like you who are ready to build a business and life that gives them more freedom, income, and impact than ever. My mission is to help as many women as possible to up-level your life, your business, your finances, and help you see the infinite potential within yourself to be, do, and have anything that you want. It is my duty and obsession to give you the tools, the resources, strategies, and teachings that you need to create the reality of your wildest dreams. Each week, I'll be bringing you simple exercises, inspiring chats, special guest interviews, all based around how to unleash your inner magic, break through your limitations, and boldly claim the success that you desire. It's you unlocked. So, if you enjoy listening to topics on money, mindset, manifestation, and balancing all the things while practicing the woo and doing the work, then you have come to the right place. I am obsessed with helping women see through to their highest potential and transform into the greatest, most powerful versions of themselves. So think of this podcast as your weekly dose of personal development to maximize your impact, your influence, and your income. I am so glad that you're here, and I hope that you enjoy today's episode. Now, let's begin. Welcome. In today's episode, I really want to dive into our mindset around self-care and debunk the myth that prioritizing yourself, especially in motherhood, is selfish. And in speaking to some of the mom friends that I have or other moms in business, it comes up a lot where self-care gets put to the back burner. So what I want to talk about today is how you can make yourself a priority, your self-care a priority, and how do you do that, being busy, having a full plate, and, just making it more habitual versus like an afterthought. So I know that when you're busy, you've got no time and, you tend to put self-care on the back of the to-do list or the end of the to-do list. And I just want to talk about how important it is for self-care because, if you're putting other people's wants or needs or attention before your own, you are just going to burn out. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to be unhappy. And I know because I have been there. And you're also not going to be attracting anything that you want or desire in your life. So, importantly, finding something to do, self-care wise, that makes you feel good is on the top of our list. It should be, anyways. And we're all different, so self-care might look different for everybody. For me, self-care is yoga or Pilates, or lately I've been loving my strength weight training. It can also be just having that 5 minutes of peace and quiet to myself, my alone time, just where I can just sit and be, and or journaling, meditating. I love all that stuff. So it can also be acknowledging when I need to rest and clear my schedule. Even just having that alone time, like I mentioned, in a quiet space or relaxing, having a glass of wine and like winding down with a movie at the end of the week, that's something that's self-care to me. It's important to do something that makes you feel good, to fill up your cup, and doing it mindfully, not just binging on some TV shows without feeling energized afterwards or, like it has to feel good. So if that is something that maybe you can just be aware of what you are consuming. But it's also to know that we've been conditioned and programmed from a young age that basically we have to always be doing, right? Versus just being. We prioritize working hard, like the struggle. But who it is that we are being is more important than that. So, yes, self-care just keeps us aligned with our goals. And we can't be attracting anything positive when we're not feeling good. So, neglecting yourself, not nourishing yourself, not exercising, not taking rest, that's all just going to drain you even further. And, you know, you're not going to be a happy mama. You're not going to be happy and joyful and energized. So, prioritize feeling good and relaxing. And then more good things will come into your life. So, how do we prioritize when life is so busy or when you feel guilty about taking that time for yourself? And number one, I would say, is recognize your worth, without the need to do. Just know that you are worthy of self-care without having to do something first, not taking it as a reward. Or if I clean the house, I can put my feet up on the couch if I want. Or, I've worked really hard this week. I've got a lot done. So, I deserve to have a nice bubble bath. Like, it doesn't have to be a reward, and it shouldn't be a reward. It should be prioritized. We, you know, us women, we get kind of stuck in this belief that in order to be validated and to receive love and acceptance, we have to be doing. And I think we're conditioned or, programmed from a young age that that's the case. And so the more that you do, the more that you're worth or praised for working hard. You're praised for doing the things, and then we learn, and then that translates to us that in order to receive, we have to be doing. And as children, I see this with my kids, they absorb everything. They absorb whatever it is that surrounds them, whatever they see, um, and they model a lot of my behavior. Sometimes I catch myself, or I catch them rather, doing something, and I'm like, oh, wow, where did you learn that from? Me. So, if a mother isn't prioritizing herself or putting herself first, then that kind of washes down to, the son or the daughter or whoever, and those habits get reflected. So, whatever we can learn from a young age can be unlearned as well. So, that's important to know too, that by practicing self-care, you are doing the work to strengthen those beliefs and to go, into the fact that you are worthy and reprogram you are enough without the needing to do, without the needing to struggle. You don't have to earn self-care. That should be, a non-negotiable. Really, it is to, try and change the narrative of whether or not you have done something or achieved something. Self-care shouldn't be an afterthought. So, a nice little mantra that I've been incorporating is I am worthy to receive self-care just as I am. I am worthy just for being me. And, you can have your own mantra, whatever works for you, but something along the lines of, I am enough without having to work hard and for my self-care to be a reward. It should be more of a habit, you know? Like when you brush your teeth, you're not scheduling that into your, day timer or calendar. Maybe you do. But it's just a habit. It's just something that you do every day, regardless, right? And I think that self-care needs to be the same way, making it a habit so that you just do it. You don't even think about it. Doing that thing every day that makes you feel good. So, like I said, for me, it's yoga or, going for a walk or um, exercising or just having that quiet time. whatever whatever I need on the day, but just something for me that makes me feel good. And not, oh, I should do this or I should do that. Like there shouldn't be any guilt attached to it. I want you to choose mindfully, whatever that is for your self-care. Just make it a part of who you are. And probably the best thing that you can do is really ingrain that habit into your life, and then it just becomes second nature. You don't even have to think about it. I find that the morning is the best because by the end of the day, you've got decision fatigue. You don't tend to make the best decisions when you're tired. For example, you go to the store at the end of the day to pick up something for dinner, and you tend to just grab, like the unhealthy quick meals because you're just too exhausted to plan another healthy meal. So do it in the morning. I choose to put myself first before anything else. And I wake up ideally about an hour before the kids wake up, so around 5 a.m. And I just have that me time. I meditate, I journal, I incorporate a little bit of movement, whether that is a few rounds of sun salutations, yoga, or just some light stretching, or maybe I do have that workout first thing in the morning. Or, after I drop my son off at school, then I'll head straight to the gym, just so I've got the rest of the day to focus then on the other tasks that I have, running my business and being a mama, but I'm already energized and I'm ready to go. So it doesn't have to be, a huge chunk of time either. It doesn't have to be an hour, whatever. It can be 5 minutes. It can be when you're doing the mundane tasks of driving or emptying the dishwasher and just, having those positive thoughts instead of negative thoughts. Sometimes when you're doing those mundane tasks, your mind starts to wander and you can just think a little bit more negatively, which isn't any good. And that's not self-care, is it? So, yeah, just reframing it and choosing to think of something positive, whether that's your dream vacation with your family or some goals that you have for yourself, and really just start to plant those positive seeds. And instead of letting your mind wander away, you are choosing to focus on something more positive. So it's just kind of stepping into that higher version of yourself as if you are already her, as if you already are living the life that you want. And ask yourself, how would she show up for herself today? And yeah, just not always doing all the time, and rather step into just being that woman that you want to be, and not having to um focus so much on your to-do lists. And even when I have more time, I'll do the self-care, or when whatever, like having that excuse, because I know we do it. And I know it's easy to make excuses, and especially when my kids are so demanding of my time, like it's a madhouse sometimes in here, and I can't get those 5 minutes to myself. So sometimes you've got to get a little bit creative, but just not making those excuses and saying, oh, when I have time, or when then I'll be happy, then I can do this. Just be happy now as you are. Even for the next 24 hours, I'd like you to try this. Commit to some sort of self-care and really prioritize yourself and show up for yourself as you would, as if you were already, living the life of your dreams, as if you already had everything that you could ever want, as if you already had all that time, as if you already were that higher version of yourself. you know, and that higher version of yourself, she would make the time. She would allow for rest. She would put herself first. So every day, show up for yourself. Fill up your cup. Have your me time, whether that is 5 minutes. It's just so important because when you're not filling up your cup, it is like a cliche saying, but you can't pour from an empty cup. And it's just so true. So making yourself a priority, make your self-care a priority, and don't let it be an afterthought. Really make it important. Remember, who you are is more important than what you're doing. All right. I'll leave you with that. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, I've just opened a couple more spots for private clients right now. So if you guys are interested in working with me one-on-one and literally having full-blown access to me, helping you up-level your life, reach that next level, whether it's with your business, your mindset, or just in general, whatever you're struggling with, I can help you. We can work through those limiting beliefs together. We can create a plan of attack. And so I'll link in how you can get more info on that in the show notes below. All right, lovely. Have a beautiful Monday, and I will see you in next week's episode. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more You Unlocked series, make sure to hit the subscribe button and share this episode with all of your friends. If you really enjoyed the episode below, make sure to leave a review on Spotify and let me know how much you enjoyed it. To go even deeper and unlock your higher self, make sure to check out the show notes where I'll link free resources, current offerings to work with me, and all of my social media feeds. Until next time, beautiful, I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for sharing in today's episode. If you absolutely love what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on Spotify or sharing it with someone who you think would benefit from it so I can keep the good stuff coming. If you haven't already followed me on social media, come say hi and soak up some extra inspiration on Instagram by searching at Coaching with Darby. I love and adore you so much, and I cannot wait to connect with you in next week's episode. In the meantime, go out there and manifest that magic.